What is up, everyone? I am BisharpBrawler and you are watching the 17th episode in the Road to 721 series. Today we're going back to UU for Froslass, the only other ice type in BL2 apart from Mega Bombashell. And I am really excited. UU is my favorite tier and I really enjoy playing the tier. And this time it's quite an interesting team because we are absolute 100% hyper offense. This video is also actually one of the last videos that I will be playing in the ORS metagame. Sun and Moon is coming out in 2 weeks, of course, in America. That means there are only 4 more videos to go, including this one. So this is one of the final Pokemon to be played in ORS metagame. And it's an interesting one. So Froslass is an Ice Ghost type, which is not a bad typing at all for what it does. It sets up spikes very reliably. It will always get up 1, maybe 2 layers of spikes, pretty much. There's not really anything an opponent can do to stop it. I give it a Focus Sash to make sure it always gets it up. It's also very fast, so usually it'll outspeed anyway. Might be able to get up 2 layers of spikes, or get a kill with Destiny Bond. Cursed Body is incredibly useful for like if you get hit by maybe something like a Foragers using Gyro Ball on you, which then puts you down to your Focus Sash, of course. And then he might not have another offensive move left. And if it gets disabled by Curse Body, so you can get up another layer of spikes for free. Which is really nice. Now, spikes, as I said, is the main move of the set, because getting up these layers of spikes really wheels down every team and makes for the offensive nature of the team, this hyper offensive nature of this team, to break through these walls that might be able to stop it otherwise. Taunt is great. So as a suicide lead, of course, it's capable of taunting things like Foragers, like Empoleon, and prevent them from getting rocks up, because rocks are quite detrimental to the team. And with no Rapid Spin or Defog support on the team, it is very important that you get that taunt. Destiny Bond is incredibly useful because you can set up a layer of spikes and then you get brought down to your Focus Sash, you Destiny Bond the next turn and you get a kill. And Icy Wind is the only offensive move on the set. It deals with fast taunters like most notably Aerodactyl, that you might be able to 2-hit KO if it is no bulk investment at all. Which means you Icy Wind on the turn that he taunts. After 1 Icy Wind you outspeed and then you KO him. And then he still doesn't get his rocks up, and that's of course the goal of Suicide Lead Aerodactyl. The EVs, like, I don't care about my special attack at all, so I just put everything in speed and HP. Speed to make sure I am as fast as possible to get up those spikes as quickly as possible. And HP to at least give me some minor bulk, but I'm really not taking any hits. It doesn't even matter. This Pokemon is pretty much my lead 100% of the time. There is no other Pokemon on the team that I want to lead with. It's pretty much always Froslass. Unless I'm in like an absolutely god-awful situation, but that's pretty much never happens. And that's pretty much it for Froslass. It's kind of a supporting Pokemon on the team, not a sweeper as I usually try to make them. But it does its job well, and that's what I wanted to show off today. So, that's it for Froslass. Next up is Crobat. The only even remotely defensive Pokemon on the team. With Black Sludge, it has some nice recovery. And Roost works nicely in tandem with the Black Sludge to keep it healthy across the match. But what it's mainly used for is Taunt. Because Froslass sets up those spikes. I want those spikes to stay. That means I can't have someone just defogging them away for free. And that's what Taunt is for. I try to pick up a lot of momentum with this team. A lot, so I should always have the right matchup. U-Turn also helped me with getting that momentum, and Brave Bird is the only offensive move on the set, doing some nice damage to a lot of different things. Infiltrator is nice for bypassing substitutes with Taunt or U-Turn. It's a pretty standard support Crobat set, but it does its job very well, and I'm really happy with this Pokemon. It does what it needs to do. It's not the best Pokemon in the world, but it does its job well. And next up is the sweeper of the team, Mega Swampert, with that Rain Dance. This thing hits crazy hard in general, and after the Rain Dance, its Waterfall just becomes so threatening. It does of course have the Swift Swim ability when it Mega Evolves, So it will double its speed, outspeeding pretty much the entire tier. Waterfall and Earthquake are great stabs. Earthquake's more powerful outside of rain. Waterfall's more powerful in rain. Ice Punch hits grass and flying types that would otherwise be able to switch into it pretty easily. Ice Punch is weaker. A super effective Ice Punch is weaker than a neutral Waterfall in the rain. So I need to keep that in mind. As clicking Waterfall will be more useful than Ice Punch most of the time. This thing has swept multiple games for me. It is incredibly powerful. It has barely any switch-ins in UU. And it will, and just once it gets to the rain and its heavy checks are removed, it just sweeps, pretty much. Next up is Chandelure, which is mainly used for its ghost typing to block, provide a spin blocker for the team. Can switch it to foragers very, very easily, and can then just Fire Blast or Trick it to cripple it completely. It's scarred, of course, to patch up its poor speed stat. A Fire Blast is an incredibly powerful move, especially after a Flash Fire boost, and will just play a role as a nuke or a revenge kill. Shadow Ball is a secondary stab for if you predict a switch in. An Energy Ball hits water types. Trick can potentially cripple a defensive Pokemon like Fortress or Blissey. This Chandelure set's pretty standard as well. I am attempting to, this set attempts a revenge kill and come and spin block pretty much. That's its role. It can wall break, but it's not quite powerful enough for that, in my opinion. So, next up is Cobalion, my Stealth Rocker. It's not really important to get up Stealth Rock when you have spikes, so I don't prioritize it very heavily. But it's always nice to have. Close Combat and Iron Head are great dual stabs to have, and Dwarf Switch is great momentum for a hyper-offensive team like this. And it just does its role once again very well. All these Pokemon have one specific role they need to do, and they do that very well, but they don't do much else. I have the Leftovers item to give it some defensive utility, but it's not too much. Its Steel typing is nice, as it has some important resistances, though it is weak to fire, which is kind of a problem with this team, but it's not that bad when you have a Chandelure and a Mega Swampert. For the final Pokemon, I have an offensive Whimsicott. Wow, that was weird. I have an offensive Whimsicott with the Leftovers. Prankster Encore is my only way of shutting down offensive setup sweepers like Gyarados. Gyarados setting up on my Mega Swampert is so scary. I have to go into Whimsicott because his only flying type stab is that bounce, and if he does go for the bounce, I can just switch out again into anything else really. And if he sets up Dragon Dance, I Prankster Encore him into it, and he can't do much. U-turn gives my team momentum once more. And Giga Drain and Moonblast are nice dual stabs. So that's it for the team. I went through it really quickly because it's quite a standard hyper-offensive team. Every Pokemon has one specific role that they need to do, and they do that very well, but they don't do much else. That's pretty much this team. And I think that's about it. I'm gonna go into the matches now, and I will see you guys there. For the first match of the day, we're facing Mega Beedrill, Sylveon, Empoleon, Rotom Heat, Metagross, and Heracross. This is quite a threatening team with a lot of powerful wall breakers, but not necessarily the ability to clean up, I feel. So I think this could be fine, especially with an offensive team as mine. I don't care about wall breakers, I outspeed them and do a ton of damage. I'm just gonna lead Froslass like I do all the time, and I'm gonna see what his lead is. I think I can set up a layer of spikes on all of his Pokemon. I will taunt the Empoleon if that's his lead. But otherwise, I'm just gonna straight up go for the spikes. I usually do prioritize getting a kill over getting up one layer of spikes. This is a Sylveon. This thing could be... I want to taunt him. I'm scared of a Calm Mind Sylveon. It could really fuck me over already. And if he does go for the Hyper Voice here, straight up. He does. That's not Specs. Specs Hokos. That's definitely not Specs. I'm just going to Destiny Bond. Get rid of this thing. Quickly. I'm sad that I didn't get up my layer of spikes. But I want to make sure he didn't set up on... Oh, wow. He didn't actually go for that. He's not faster than me. I'm going to Steam on again. I want to see what he does. Metagross can't set up... Oh, he might set up the rocks. But if Empoleon doesn't set up the rocks, that'd be weird. I feel like this Metagross is straight up offensive. It might set up an agility, actually. I think Taunt is a safer play. Yeah, it would be really sad if he lose Froslass for no reason. But if he bullet punches me, then he dies anyway, because the Destiny Bond will still be active. And if I get the taunt in, that would be fine as well. He doesn't exactly know how Destiny Bond works. I get the taunt. Nice. Sure. Thanks. He's in an awkward spot right now because he doesn't exactly know what I'm gonna do. I'm faster than all of his Pokemon. He has to keep switching. He can't use a status move right now. Does he give up his Empoleon here? Empoleon, like, his team is very weak to Mega Swampert. He has no switch-ins to it. I don't know if Empoleon is not really switching either. I don't know what he does here. I'm gonna Destiny Bond again. As he goes back into his Metagross. Damn it! I wish I would have spiked. I probably would have been dead if I spiked, to be honest. I'm gonna set up a layer of spikes now. What is he? Actually, I'm faster. I'm gonna set up. As he does. Okay, thank God, he's dead. He's dead. We're done. Alright, it didn't matter what he clicked there. He was sacrificing it. Okay, we're done. Eventually, all that did was trade my Froslass for his Metagross, which I am 100% fine with. What is coming out next? I'm gonna go with Crobat so I can potentially taunt something. As he goes into his Rotom, this thing is most likely just gonna Volt Switch. I'm just gonna U-turn. And I'm gonna go into my Swampert because it takes any hit from this thing. Unless he Will-O-Wisps me, which would be really, really sad. He does not. Good. Now he might though. There's a decent chance he Will-O-Wisps here. So I'm gonna make the double into Chandelure. Predicting into Will-O-Wisp, and that will put me in a decent spot. As I want. Oh, he switches out as well. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so here's the thing. I know this thing is not a Specs variant, right? So I could potentially trick him a Scarf, as he is most likely defensive. So, which would pretty cripple him quite heavily. And I don't think I need Chandelure to have the Scarf this game. Though it would be really useful against the Mega Beat Drill. Let's hope he returns. I don't think he's returning. I don't know why he left, because there was still a pretty decent chance of him winning the game. But yeah, so what I would have tried to be doing here this entire game was get my Swampert in on either on the Empoleon, most likely. That would have been my best matchup. On that matchup, I would have tried to set up a Rain Dance and hope he didn't burn me with Scald. At that point, I would have just swept his entire team because he has no switch-ins to a Rain Boosted Waterfall at that point. Sylveon is not defensive enough to take one or even two of those. I would have had to probably set up a second Rain Dance at some point in that situation. Though, at that point, I would have probably just eliminated 4 of his Mons. And if I eliminate 4 of his Mons, I think I'm in a good enough situation that I don't lose anymore. So that was the goal. I think it's just 10 more seconds remaining now. I think it's over. And then I think we're just going to go into the next one. Yep. Alright, I'm going to go to the next one and I'll see you guys there. For the second match of the day, we're facing Kyurem, Machamp, Hydreigon, Tentacruel, Arcanine, and Metagross. I don't agree with it being a Kyurem and not a Hydreigon in this team. But whatever, I guess it would make his team fighting weak, though I don't really see it, to be honest. I'm just straight up leading Froslass. It's basically my standard lead. He leads Arcanine, which I'm fine with. Arcanine can't do anything that's too threatening to me. He doesn't outspeed me and he can't extreme speed me because I'm a ghost type. So I just get up a free layer of spikes right now. And I can potentially get a kill with Destiny Bond. Which would be nice. Getting a kill on this Arcanine already would be awesome. He does have a good spinner, and the spinner I can't switch into with my Chandelure. He's Life Orb. That's interesting. I think I want a Destiny Bond. With his Wild Charge disabled, he has to Flare Blitz me. So I'm gonna Destiny Bond. Kill me, kill me, kill me. Yeah! Thank you, Arcanine. I get up my spikes. I get a kill on the Arcanine. I get only 1 layer up, but that's fine. That's usually what happens. I'm gonna straight up go into Chandelure here. Potentially threaten now, or just make sure he can't Rapid Spin here. He might predict me to switch out. And for that reason, I want to trick this Tentacruel. Because I think he's gonna Rapid Spin. And if I trick him into Rapid Spin, that's a great situation. So I'm gonna trick him. Let's see. Choice Scarf, Black Sludge. Oh, that sucks. Oh, he's Scald, straight up. Well, that kind of sucks. Not terrible, though. It's not terrible. Whimsicott didn't take anything. Though, like, here's the thing. Tentacruels are kind of a problem for my team unless Swampert gets up the rain. Which I can't really do right now. I'm U-turning. I want to know what he does. He goes into his Metagross. I can set up the rain on this Metagross, actually. Metagross can't really do much. It doesn't get Grass Punch or whatever. I'm going to set up the rain. Because once I do, I don't think he has the tools to deal with the Swampert in the rain. Especially not with that one layer of spikes up, which is just doing a ton to his team. And some might argue that the one layer of spikes is really not worth it as opposed to Stealth Rocks. But you have to consider that this is hurting that Metagross 12% every time. This is hurting that Machamp 12% every time. It's hurting everything. Yes, it would have hurt the Kyurem 25% if it had been Stealth Rocks. But Kyurem isn't bulky enough to be worth it to set up the Stealth Rocks for. Especially not in this situation. And for that reason I think Spikes is better, even in this situation. He goes for the EQ. I easily take that. I'm gonna EQ myself now. Bullet Punch does nothing, of course. And that's not Metagross gone. Oh, that's kind of awkward. I'm gonna Waterfall now. Okay, he goes for... that sucks. That's a wasted turn of Rain turn. I should be able to get one more kill here, though. I think. Machamp dies to Waterfall. Crocodile Launch dies to Waterfall. Tentacruel dies to EQ. Kyurem doesn't die. Which is, of course, a switch in. I don't know if Kyurem dies. Let me see it. Let me take a look at Kyurem's base stats. Compared to Machamp. Kyurem is bulkier than Machamp. So it most likely doesn't die. Is it worth it for me to lose my chances of sweep? It's really not, but I just don't see anything else I can set up on later on in the match. With Metagross and Arcanine now both dead. So I'm going to EQ here anyway. Do as much damage as I can to this thing. As he destroys me with a Draco. I go into Cobalion. Cobalion will destroy this Kyurem completely, so I'm almost certainly switching out. I could have gone into Whimsicott that last turn, but it wasn't really worth it. I'm just going to Volt Switch. As his Machamp comes in, that means that I get to switch into my... Do I want to go into Chandelure or do I want to go into Crobat? I feel like he has an easier time switching in on Chandelure. This team forces a lot of switches, which is awesome. So, and with the spikes, that's why Hyper Offense with Suicide Lead works. Because Hyper Offense just generally forces a lot of switches. I can do a ton of damage to him right now. He is scarfed. He has to scarf himself into something. I want to know what that's gonna be. What do I want to do? Is he really gonna scarf himself? If he scarfs himself into Rapid Spin, that's a legitimate problem for him. Because then I can come into anything. Potentially set up a Sword Stance with Cobalion. He doesn't know I don't have it. But I might. So I'm just going to click Brave Bird here. See what he does. There's might even be a chance that I knock him out. I don't know the calc for Crobat versus Tentacruel. I don't have any investment in attack, so I might not. I could have U-turned there. Wait, okay, so let me see. What's his speed like? That's probably going to be around 210, maybe? Without investment, 220 maybe? He's not going to outspeed me if he doesn't have investment in speed. I think Brave Bird is the better. It didn't kill. He does go for the Rapid Spin. Alright, that's not that bad. I wish I would have switched to Chandelure, man. I would have done so much. I couldn't taunt him because Rapid Spin is damaging, so he could just use that anyway. I can now Brave Bird again. And see what he goes into next. Whimsicott is a great Crocodile Wall. This is Kyurem. Is this Kyurem scarfed? I'm starting to think this Kyurem is scarfed. Because why would you? There's no reason to bring it in if it's not scarfed. I'm going into Cobalion. Does he predict? No, he does not. I think it has to be scarfed. I think it has to be. I'm gonna... Do I want a Stealth Rock? Late game Stealth Rocks? He has no spinner. But if Machamp comes in here, I could be... Oh, Whimsicott is so good against his team at this point. If I can get Whimsicott in, that could be huge. He can't switch into a close combat. Anything. He can't switch anything. I'm just close combating. I need a kill. I need to get a kill right now. This Kyurem is legit. This Kyurem has to be scarfed. It has to be. There's just no other way. And that would have outspit my entire team anyway, even if Chandler hadn't tricked away the Choice Scarf. So that, I think, still was the correct play. Machamp comes out, might die. Oh no, it doesn't die. But Machamp doesn't get Mach Punch, only Bullet Punch. I outspeed this thing. None of it's Scarf, but Scarf Machamp isn't really a thing. So I just go for another close combat right now. Knocking out the Machamp. Which is quite nice. Like, Bullet Punch doesn't do anything. I resist that, and I have not high base defense. It's not stab. There's no way that does too much. Cobalion is really good here. And eventually I can sack off Chandelure to the Kyurem next time it comes in. And then see what he goes for. If he goes for Earth Power, predicting my Cobalion, I can go into Crobat and get over Brave Bird. If he goes for Ice Beam, not predicting, then Chandelure still dies. And I can get my Cobalion. See, the problem is I'm at -2 defenses, so I'm sacking off my Chandelure right now. He does go for the Earth Power, predicting me to stay in. As I can now go into my... I can go into Whimsicott. I'm almost certain he's Scarf at this point. I'm gonna Moonblast. As this is gonna do a ton to his Crocodile. It knocks out the Crocodile. Okay, he's in the situation... I think I've won. Yeah, at this point it's over. His Kyurem's moves were Draco, Ice Beam, Earth Power, and maybe Flash Cannon. And none of those moves would hit all 3 of my Pokemon. If he would have, okay, what I would have done here as with this Whimsicott, I would have probably switched out to the Crobat. If he would have clicked Draco, then he would have been at -2, and I could have just gone to Whimsicott and knocked him out with a Moonblast. If he goes Ice Beam, yes, it knocks out my Crobat, but I can go to Cobalion for free and just destroy him with a close combat. If he goes for, what did I say he had? Alright, Earth Power. Then Crobat is immune and it just does damage to him and it waits until he slowly dies. And if he goes for Flash Cannon, Cobalion once again comes in and destroys him with close combat. So at this point he couldn't do much anymore with his Kyurem. I don't know what he was expecting. I don't know why he didn't leave earlier, if he was gonna leave anyway, but whatever. This game was won and I am very happy. I showed off what this team does. It forced so many switches and got the spikes up. That was nice. I'm gonna go into the next one now and I will see you guys there. For the final match of today, we're playing Gardevoir, Heliolisk, Infernape, Gyarados, Baby Mega, Fortress, and Crocodile. My lead 1,000,000% is Froslass. 1,000,000%. What do I want to do? I want to Icy Wind. I don't know how much Icy Wind does to a Crocodile. I do know I outspeed, but I don't want it to get up rocks. But this might not be his Rock Setter. If I Icy Wind, and I don't knock him out with the second one, then I can Destiny Mod and get the kill anyway. If I do knock him out of the second one, I will outspeed the Crocodiles, get priorities, that's fine. I'm gonna click Icy Wind. He is Scarfed. How much? That doesn't do enough. That really sucks. That means I am Destiny Modding. As he kind of predicts that or something? Oh, this is interesting. I'm gonna taunt. What do you want to do? He kills my Frost. That sucks. That's pretty bad. That was smart. I kind of thought he was going to do that, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to risk it. I just didn't want him to get up his rocks for free. Probably should have just spiked there. Honestly, he goes into his Infernape. That might carry Grass Knot. I'm going to go in Chandelure for that reason and not into my Swampert. That was super threatening otherwise. What does it switch into this thing? Most likely Gyarados. I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball. As this does... This 2 hit KOs. That's nice. Oh, yeah, EQ. Oh, he has EQ. Okay, this is now a problem. This isn't going well at all. And this is a problem with Hyper Offense. If you don't get the momentum, for whatever reason you don't get the momentum, you pretty much lose. I think at this point I can't break that Fortress anymore. Actually, I can. I'm going to get Mega Swampert in on it right now. I cannot set up the rain at this point. It's not worth it at all. Because his Gyarados is there. And Gyarados walls me. I'm gonna go for a Waterfall though. See what I can do. And this does nothing. I think it's over. I don't think I can break this Fortress. See, that's what happens. I lost momentum at the very start. That's the weakness of Hyper Offense. I couldn't do anything. And it's pretty much over, honestly. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I don't want to straight up go into Whimsicott. Actually, I'm gonna straight up go into Whimsicott. As he goes through the ice, okay, that's pretty small. Oh my god, oh, that didn't matter. I'm not gonna be like, oh, Friesen. No, that didn't matter at all. I'm just gonna, yeah, it doesn't matter. This game is over. This game is done. Simply because I lost momentum. It sounds like I'm giving up too soon, but it really just was done when I lost my Chandelure and I lost my my Froslass. It was over. And that's, yeah, he can just win. He just wins with this Pokemon, and it's fine. Shit happens, man. Can I thaw? I mean, I can't even encore this guy anymore because he's now behind the sub. I need to thaw again. Please, Whimsicott. God damn it, he's gonna have EQ. Actually, he might not have EQ. He's gonna have Waterfall knock me out. Oh, he does knock me out, nice. I don't think there's much I can do about this guy now, but I'll try. I'll stick this fight. I'll stick this game out. I have lost to Gyarados so many times already, man. I don't know why. This thing is just such a weakness for this team, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I really lost to the Gyarados. I think I lost much more to the Fortress. It sounds weird because Gyarados swept me completely, but I really think so because the Fortress just would have stood in the way of my offense the entire time. And this is the weakness of Hyper Offense. I'm glad I got this was shown out as well, because last game was very much the strength of Hyper Offense, having momentum the entire time and just kind of overwhelming your opponent. But in this situation, I lost momentum early on. He made a good play with the Fortress, and at that point it's over. I didn't expect an Infernape or EQ. I really didn't. It's not common on Infernape at all. But it's a good play that he went for it. He got me. That's pretty much it. Yeah, not much else I can say about this. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. I know it wasn't very. It was kind of strange but the team is strange and like it felt kind of. I'm not very used to Hyper Offense myself. And this was one of the first Hyper Offense teams I've made, and for that reason our plays were kind of awkward. I assume, and yeah. If you want to watch really good players play Hyper Offense, this is not the right video. This is the video you want to come to watch me try and use the team based on Froslass, because that's essentially what this team is. Hyper Offense is a fun playstyle. It's not the best playstyle because of if you lose momentum once, you lose. But that's fine. I am glad I got to show this video. It was fun to do. I like the team. And for the next video, I get to play Yu again. Once again, with Snorlax. So it's a completely different Pokemon compared to Froslass, even though they sound similar. Snorlax does something completely different, and it's quite fun. I like it a lot. And I will see you guys next time for that. I'm out. Peace.